The issue of job scams has left hundreds of migrant workers stranded in Malaysia without jobs, despite paying high fees for employment permits. Although the Labour Department has found new jobs for some of these workers, former Klang MP Charles Santiago says this is a long-standing problem. He explains the situation further.
Just in the last month and a half, at least from what I know, there was a group of 200 people in one instance, and then the other one is 71 workers. And it was quite clear that they actually were recruited to work in Malaysia by an agency, by an employer, and they had paid each of them about more or less 20,000 ringgit Malaysia. And they had come to Malaysia looking for a job. But unfortunately, there was no jobs that were available to them, and they were all put in an apartment during the period of Ramadan, and these are all Muslims, without food, without water.
Charles also raised several questions regarding the workers' arrival in Malaysia.
The question is, how did they get the permit to come to Malaysia? Normally, if you are an employer, you will have a job designation. And when they come to Malaysia, that you will be taken straight to that particular factory to work. And that is the requirement vis-a-vis the law in terms of the permits. You can only work for the name of the company that is attached to your permit documents. Here, you have people who have been brought here without any, with an employer, with a name, with a particular company, but no jobs. And sometimes this borders actually on trafficking. So therefore, there are two sets of issues, one on forced labor, and then the other is on trafficking. And also, it's actually scamming the country. That means you're using the portal to recruit workers, but actually without jobs. So how did the portal allow you to bring workers into the country? That's the question I think the ministry has to answer.
The Labour Department has vowed to take action against firms and revoke the licenses of recruitment agencies that are misusing government licenses to hire migrant workers. Charles discusses the parties involved in this matter and proposes a possible solution.
It is fair to say the movement of workers from host countries or source countries to Malaysia is organized through a variety of cartels. Cartels who thrive on payment of workers who come to Malaysia. Now, zero recruitment fees is a process where Malaysian employers are willing to pay for the movement of workers from source countries to Malaysia. This syndicates do is they take money from the workers themselves who are coming to Malaysia, and then when they arrive in Malaysia, they take the money from the employers. So they make money on both sides. So much so that a lot of Malaysian companies had to pay back the workers who had already paid the money when they came to Malaysia. So it means companies are being cheated. And this is somehow an organized crime that is going on and has been going on for too long.
Charles called for a revamp of the current migrant worker recruitment system in place.
I mean, presently we are using the Foreign Workers Centralized Management System, which is the FWCMS. I think that system has to be replaced. The agency for recruitment has to be a separate agency under the Prime Minister's Department. It should not involve Home Affairs. It should not involve Human Resources Ministry. That is where part of the problem lies.